author Sarah A. Chrisman.
I'm Gabriel Chrisman.
And today we're going to talk to you about the Central Café in Budapest,
yes.
in Hungary. Now, this was a very special place we got to visit. We were privileged to visit on our recent vacation. The Central Café opened in 1887, solidly in the period we absolutely love.
And this particular cafe was of particular interest to us because it was the Writers' Cafe in Budapest.
Yeah. So at the end of the 19th century in Budapest, different cafes they all had their different niches. So there was a cafe that mostly butchers went to. There was a cafe that mostly shoemakers went to. This was the Writers' Cafe. And the reason for that is the Athenaeum Press was just across the street. So the journalists, the editors, and the writers would all sit in the Central Café waiting for their galley proofs to come hot off the press. The print boy would bring them across the street.
And of course, to network among all the other writers and publishers and people who were involved in that industry.
Absolutely, absolutely. This was back in the days when networking was in person, with actual living people.
Right.
Imagine.
And this is what really the coffee houses were for, at a larger scale, too.
Yeah.
Budapest had more coffee houses than other major cities like Paris and
or Vienna
at the time.
Yeah, Budapest had over 500 coffee houses at the turn of the 20th century. And they were where, everyone hung out because the apartments were so small. So most people didn't have an apartment big enough to invite their friends over or their boss over for dinner. And there's a story, I don't remember which story it was, but I remember at one point reading a story where a young woman stops by unexpectedly at this guy's apartment, and he's embarrassed because the only chair he has, he's already sitting on, and his bed, he doesn't want to invite her to sit on the bed. So he doesn't have anywhere for her to sit.
And that was the situation with most of these apartments. You couldn't have anyone over, let alone a group of friends.
Right, exactly.
So a coffee house was where everyone would meet and socialize.
Right, and coffee houses had the added bonus of the light was free. You didn't have to pay for your own oil or your own candles. And
gas, by the time
or gas.
That,
And the warmth was free. You didn't have to pay for your own coal. And so a lot of writers around the turn of the 20th century would just buy a single cup of coffee and nurse it all day long in a coffee house like this one. And Central kept a stack of all the latest newspapers along with journals and special publications. They had a private library in this coffee house of over 100 different titles.
And I'm sure also that those galley proofs and things that came over would circulate through the course of a day.
Yeah. And actually it was so sweet when we went there and the waiter sat us down to our table and he asked about us, some very friendly, sweet questions, and then when he found out I was a writer, his eyes lit up and he got really excited, which is so refreshing because as an American, so many times in America, most Americans just look really disdainful when they find out I'm a writer. And so for somebody to actually be pleased and impressed at finding out I'm a writer was so gratifying. It warmed my heart.
Yes.
I loved that guy. I wanted to take him home with us.
Well, they also had items on the menu there that were inspired by the Nobel Prize in Writing because they had a couple Hungarian recipients over the last couple decades. And so they had special desserts that they had put together that were inspired by those Nobel Prize winners.
Right. Now, I ordered one of these desserts, and at first I didn't realize quite... I knew it was going to be special. I didn't quite understand how special because it came in this special box that looked like a stack of books, and when the waiter opened it up, there was a piece of paper over the top of the dessert with some sort of just alcohol on the paper.
Chemical of some
sort, that he then lit on fire. And so there was this fire that goes up to reveal this special dessert.
Right, and then they take away the sort of box of the stack of books and leave you with the dessert. Right.
Which was amazing. I mean, what a special experience.
Right.
What a magical experience that was. And that they would create this to honor the writers in their history was just I loved it.
Yes.
I loved it. I'm using the word amazing a lot, but it's true. It's true.
The other thing that was amazing for you as far as what they had were the rose cappuccino.
Oh, yes.
Which they called Lita's Tears.
Yes. You see, their offerings of their menu have expanded a bit since the days when writers would nurse a single cup of coffee all day.
Yes.
And so they had this incredible menu. Gabriel mentioned the Lita's Tears. It was basically a cappuccino with rose water in it. That was,
and rose petals on top, of course.
Which is my ideal dream of a coffee.
Mm-hmm. And served with a side of sparkling mineral water in a tiny cup.
It was still water.
Oh, was it still? Okay.
Yes, but very, very good mineral water. Mm-hmm. Yes.
It was
and
rather
a
on a
little
silver
demi-tasse
tray.
spoon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, as someone who has worked making coffee, I'm a little bit of a coffee snob, and that definitely wins the blue ribbon from me as the best coffee I've ever had. And I've been trying to replicate it ever since we came home.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's just a few drops of rose water in the milk before it's steamed. Still my heart. And we had some amazing food there as well.
Yeah.
There was a slow-cooked dark meat chicken, lightly spiced, inside a crepe with
I think it was a
sweet
sauce.
pepper sauce on it. Sweet pepper sauce. So that was very good. And what were some of the other things we had? Anyhow, everything is good there.
Yes.
Everything is good. Oh, the strawberry soup.
Cold strawberry soup.
It was a chilled strawberry soup. So it was strawberries that had been pureed, and they strained out all the seeds, and they were served over little balls of soft cheese with just a little bit of fresh tarragon and a few nasturtium leaves. That's another one I'm going to try to copy because it was delicious and so refreshing. I mean, it was a hot day when we went back a few times in the week we were in Budapest, and the weather that whole week was very hot, and so this was such a refreshing thing to get. Wonderful. And so if you ever find yourself in Budapest, definitely you must put the Central Café on your list of places to visit, because you'll kick yourself if you don't. It is such a special experience, and they were so kind to us and so sweet.
Yeah.
It not only was
beautifully restored it too.
Yeah, gorgeous room, gorgeous building. I actually saw one of the waiters typing out a menu on an actual old school typewriter, which was so exciting to me. And not only a special experience in a special place, they made us feel special too. And I adored that about it. So I can't rave about this place enough. They're not paying us or anything. I just loved it. I really loved it. And it was definitely one of the highlights of our visit to Budapest. So wanted to call it out and wanted to put on your bucket list if you're ever in that part of the world.
Yes, absolutely. Especially if you're a writer or like writers.
Absolutely. Yes. So hope you're checking out my books and enjoying them and telling your friends about them. And we hope you're enjoying this little series of our vacation adventures. So if you are, go ahead and give it a nice thumbs up. Give this video a nice thumbs up. And happy reading.